You know, I've been talking. Funny thing happened. Funny thing happened on the way to the stream here. I've been streaming for a good long while now. I had my mic muted. None of you have heard anything I've said. So, if you are watching this Bandcamp Friday, normally Bandcamp would waive their portion of the rights fees and would give it directly to us as members. I'm in work mode as musicians. But this Bandcamp Friday, which starts at midnight Pacific Standard Time, so about 2 a.m. my time, Bandcamp is going to take their portion of the fees, but instead of taking it for themselves, they're going to donate 100% of their portion of the sales to Music Cares. And they help musicians, people in the Los Angeles area that are affected by these wildfires. And I've been mentioning as well about the CD being for sale, which I'm going to pull up here on the website here in a moment. thirdstringarmchair.bandcamp.com/music. And let's go to the merch. I was saying a lot of cool stuff, and I had it muted, so you didn't hear any of it. So welcome to you if you're out there watching. You can be sure to like and subscribe, comment. Chat room is open. Here's the CD. I mentioned it's $10. And I also have vinyls for sale. You can see there. $50. Now, if you're saying $50, goodness golly, Cameron, why are you charging $50 for a record? Trust me, if I could get away with selling it for like $15, $20, I totally would. Full disclosure. For me to produce a single vinyl record, for it to be printed, labeled, shipped, delivered to your doorstep, that costs me $47. Now it includes shipping. So that cost, the $50, that includes shipping. And even at selling it at $50, think, wow, he must be making a pretty profit. No. I do make a profit if I sell a record. But it's just a handful of dollars. So, the record is $50. It's a vinyl. It's a 12-inch vinyl version of Old Things Made New. Price includes shipping. Or you can get the CD. It's $10. Looks like this. So, even if you've never felt led to purchase my music in the past, you can help people affected by the LA wildfires by buying my music. So, I'm just going to let Old Things Made New play front to back. I put a lot of hard work into this album. That's coming in a little hot. Dial that back just a hair. So welcome to you if you're out there watching the stream, hanging out, having fun. It's a Thursday. I'm trying to locate my phone. I don't know where I put it. How's everybody doing tonight? Just letting the music continue to play here. I'm doing some outreach on various social media. So this album, adjusting the microphone here a little bit. There we go. Keeps wanting to move. There we go. It's probably going to sound awful for a little bit. Alright, there we are. This album I put a lot of hard work into. It's called Old Things Made New. And it features 7 remakes that I did of previously done tracks. I redid them. All new guitars, all new vocals. And then I did 7 brand new tracks. So it's like a double album. And so that first song was called Lifted. Song 2 on the album is called Contemplate. And you can have your own copy of the CD. You can get it on the website. And if you get it after midnight Pacific Standard Time this evening, 2 a.m. my time, you'll help support the Bandcamp Los Angeles Fundraiser for Music Cares. Hail the skies as heaven sent, yeah. Love this song. Yeah, if you're out there watching, give me a shout. Let me know what you think. This next song coming up is called Rock On. This could be in your hands for $10. If you live in and around the Kansas City area, I can meet you. I have 10 copies of my CD. Most of them are shrink wrapped. This one I opened so that I could open it and show it to you. But all the other 9 copies that I have are all shrink wrapped. Here, I'll show you. I can't open it because it's shrink wrapped. So if you want a copy, you live in Kansas City, saying, you know, Cameron, I'd love to buy a CD, $10. It's just too much. I've got bills, listen, I get it. Talk to me. I get you some music in your hands. We can negotiate on the price. I am willing to do that. I just want to get the music in your hands. And Bandcamp Friday is going on midnight to midnight Pacific Standard Time. On this Friday, February the 7th, it's coming up. And I had originally thought about doing a live stream tomorrow. This was months ago. And but we have a movie night going on at the church tomorrow, so I'm doing it tonight instead. I'm still here just looking for something. I don't know where my phone went. I like this little drum break. And then back to it. Musical outro. And I don't know how long I plan to stream tonight. Sure, I'll stop at some point. And this next song is called... This is actually a commingling of 2 songs that I released previously. One was called Flow, and another song was called Help Me Lord. And so the verses are from Flow, and the choruses are from Help Me Lord. And I feel like that's a better song. This commingling of 2 songs into one is better than each of them were individually as the original. So again, a welcome to you if you're out there watching. This next song is called Eternal Burn. It was inspired by a post a good friend of mine posted about probably 8-9 years ago. Dano, rest his soul. But he posted on Facebook, if it were a felony, follow Christ, would you break the law? And that really got me to think. That inspired this song. Fix something here real quick. It's annoying me. Oh, nope, I don't want to do it. There we go. Yeah, it's a little better. This next song is called Rinse. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's biblical in nature.
Do
And once again, welcome to you if you're tuning in. We got Bandcamp Friday coming up at midnight Pacific time tonight. It's about 2 a.m. my time. And helping raise money for musicians affected by the wildfires in California and LA. Alright, this next song is called I Want More of You. This album came out July 5th, 24. And this is the last of the old tracks and old things made new. After this song, we'll go to Made New. Kind of wish I had thought of that when I first wrote this song, like 9 years ago. I had that little fluff at the end of the chorus. Alright, this next song is called Gold. It's one of my favorites. Grapes and cheese and finer things meant to satisfy. Tell a joke, say it in jest, oh no, purify me. chuckling because I'm thinking of this next little chunk of lines that come up. They're really creative. Water chestnuts do make sense, but chestnut nuts do not. Boy, these things are really dense. Steal them and get caught. Grapes and cheese and finer things meant to satisfy me. Tell a joke, say it in jest. Oh, purify me. Grapes and cheese and finer things meant to satisfy me. Tell a joke, say it in jest. Oh, Lord, purify me. Do-do. Grapes and cheese and finer things meant to satisfy me. Tell a joke, say it in jest. Oh, Lord, purify me. I'm gonna pause it for just a moment. Alright, that's a good pausing point. This next song, this might be my favorite of the new. You know, the last batch of 7. It's called Round and Round It Goes Again. And all of the lyrics, so 2 of my really good friends, one, I say my friend in real life, that's going to sound awkward. A friend I've met, when I initially met him, it was pre-social media. You know, Facebook was a thing, technically, but it wasn't what it is now. There wasn't Twitter. You know, MySpace was like in its heyday. My good friend Randy, aka Here on Mars, is a fellow musician friend of mine. And another musician friend of mine, I have not met this person in real life. He lives up in the Northwest, kind of near Seattle. But we've become good friends via Randy. Because he met Randy, and through Randy I met him, and we kind of met each other. And we've all become really good friends. His name is Mad Scientist Dorn. And so anyway, this song, it's called Round and Round It Goes Again. And it is, the verses are a mashup of references to both Randy and Mr. Dorn. I call him Mr. Dorn. You know, lyrics from their songs. Randy, I reference a couple of bands that he was in. You know, that sort of thing. So, this song is called Round and Round It Goes Again. Spaceship And this little riff right here kind of leads, it prefaces the next song as far as, you know, sound and tone. And the next song it's going to play here in a second, called Sprint, I feel like is some of the best guitar work that I did on this whole album. This is called Sprint. Dodge this. Love this part coming up. You listen to this guitar little bridge I did. It's coming up. I tore it up. There's a neat little transition here. Right here. Alright, now find my mouse. I'm gonna pause it again for a moment because the last 4 songs on this album, I think a little bit of context is needed to understand kind of why. So what was happening, and this happened during production of this album when I was recording. We had a huge scandal going on in our church, and like it was right around Easter time. Actually, it was Easter Sunday is actually when it no, sorry, it was Mother's Day, not Easter Sunday. Mother's Day is when it, you know, the poop hit stuff. So there was a huge thing that went on in our church with our at the time lead pastor and our family ministries pastor. They both had to step down. That's the extent of what I'm gonna say on that. You know, it's been hashed over. What happened. The church handled it well and is thriving. But you know, I developed a pretty close relationship with the lead pastor as the lead producer of the church, which is what I do. And so the last four songs here, Low Fidelity, Rainstorm, Stand, and Victory, all kind of stand for that. So everything up until Sprint, through Sprint, rather, was prior to the whole scandal breaking out. So that's kind of the mindset I was in with these last four songs. I was kind of a, don't want to say grieving process, but just the processing that event and processing, you know, breaking it down, saying, okay, you know, this is what happened, and kind of my response to that. So this next song, it's called Low Fidelity. And Rainstorm, this is an instrumental. Alright, and then this one's called Stand.
Squeegees on the television, microwaves and cultivation, double dribble, time to travel, down the lane but don't unravel, make a shout of praise unto the Lord. Pick up your feet, now stand, rise up again, turn back to the wind, rise, stand up again, turn, stare down your sin. There's no mystery to this puzzle, bind it up, put on a muzzle, take what's left of life that's given, offer up a prayer to Him that's pleasing and a blessing to the Lord. Get on your knees now, stand, rise up again, turn back to the wind, rise, stand up again, turn, stare down your sin, stand, rise up again, turn back to the wind, rise, stand up again, turn, stare down your sin.
And finally, the last song of the album is called Victory. Another instrumental. Alright, so that was, in its entirety, Old Things Made New. And that CD is available $10, or you can get the vinyl for $50. Let's see. So I did a cover of a Rush song I want to share with you guys. This is something I've been debating about if I want to release it on Spotify and streaming, because you can do that with DistroKid. You can release covers. Can't really with Bandcamp per se. You could. You just you may have to prove, hey, they gave me permission, or hey, yeah, this is cool. Tom Sawyer. It's one of my most favorite Rush songs of all time. Let's have a listen to it, shall we?
Modern day warrior, meat scribe. Today's Tom Sawyer, meat pride. Though his mind is not for rent, don't put him down as arrogant. His reserve a quiet defense, writing out the day's events. Forever. What you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the myth, catch the myth, catch the mystery, catch the drift. The world is love and life, I think. Maybe as his skies are white. Days Tom Sawyer gets high on you. Spacey invades and gets by on you. Though his mind is not for rent, too many got a government. Always what will you discontent? Ain't no changes on permanent, but changes. And what you say about his company is what you say about society. Catch the witness, catch the wit, catch the spirit, catch
Catch the spit.
The world is love and life, I think.
Alright, that was Tom Sawyer. That little Rush cover. I've done a couple of covers. A couple I released, but actually I think just one I've released. Was No Apologies. Did a Beatles one. This is just overlaid on a karaoke track. Let's play it.
Well, she was just 17, you know what I mean. And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, she looked at me, and I could see that before too long I'd fall in love with her. She wouldn't dance with another. Oh, when I saw her standing there. Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in mine. Oh, we danced through the night, and we held each other tight, and before too long I fell in love with her. Now I'll never dance with another. Oh, since I saw her standing there. Wow! Well, my heart went boom when I crossed that room, and I held her hand in mine. Oh, we danced through the night, and we held each other tight, and before too long I fell in love with her. Now I'll never dance with another. Oh, since I saw her standing there. Oh, since I saw her standing there. Yeah, well, since I saw her standing there.
Alright, so that was Since I Saw Her Standing There, a cover I did. I'm just going to play a couple more, at least covers. I don't want to tempt the copyright gods. One of my favorite songs of all time, certainly one of my favorite George Harrison songs of all time. It's called My Sweet Lord. I did this cover.
My sweet Lord, oh my Lord,
Buffalo Springfield, I covered For What It's Worth. It's the last cover I'll play. So that was For What It's Worth, my Buffalo Springfield cover. I'm not going to tempt the copyright gods any further. So, kind of thinking about going away from this for a moment and just looking at some news bloopers. I think that'd be fun. Let's see. Let's do recently uploaded. R-rated news bloopers. What? I don't want a reaction video. I really like watching really old, like from real long time ago, bloopers. Let's do that. Oh yeah, it's muted.
Well, I got it. Tonight, our money reporter Ed Berger is prepared, I think, to talk turkey on inflation. Ed?
Tony, you know, the current inflation problem has made it very difficult to get any bargains. Now, it seems appropriate
Here, let me
that,
Okay.
that our friend, Tom,
There we go. Now you got it.
well, it's...
San Francisco Coast Guard officials are keeping a close watch tonight on 2 barges, one loaded with toxic chlorine gas and explosives. The 2 barges broke loose from a tugboat just outside the Golden Gate early today. What this train is doing on air, I haven't the foggiest. 20-foot waves and high winds hampered the rescue operation. So far, no problems. The Coast Guard says it would take a lot of rough seas. It's rather confusing. Well,
making a right turn.
we'll be right back.
Good evening. It's Tony, it's your story, but I'll be happy to read it.
Surprise.
Let me get the story up here. You want to switch this part of the section?
No, why don't you go ahead?
Okay.
Whatever you'd like.
You know, it's Monday, and here we are. Burning up. Shrimp fishermen based in the area warn that the continued spill endangers the area's marine ecology. Here's a story you may not believe. A University of California Medical Center team has successfully removed a 200-pound ovarian tumor, 1 yard in diameter, from a 30-year-old woman. Physicians said that the tumor had been growing since the patient, who was not identified, was 15 years old and asked a doctor about an enlargement of her stomach. The doctor told her she was eating too much and put her on a diet. A 7-member team removed the benign tumor. After 4.5 hours of surgery on May 24th, the patient was released from the hospital this week and said, "It's the first time in years I've been able to cross my legs." Oh, darn.
Okay, you've been chasing those winds for a couple of nights now.
I'm always chasing wind.
Okay, Bruce, thank you. The Massachusetts Senate today upheld the sanctity of marriage, sort of. I think we should go to a commercial, and I'll try this again in just a minute. Next.
The Agriculture Department has unveiled the menu. It plans to donate to school lunch programs throughout the country. The menu includes dishes like cheeseburgers, barbecued beef, chicken pie, crunchy peanut butter, and missiles. That was the wrong film. Let's see, fruit in its own juice. Well, so apparently Berglund now knows one school that has the poor management he's concerned about. Tony?
Looked like a Monty Python menu there for a moment.
Okay, and tomorrow, if it's inland a ways, the big shift in temperatures will not be that radical.
It won't be as radical a shift, but there will be a drop as well there.
Okay, Bruce.
Right now it's nice out. Think I'll leave it out. Right?
Okay.
All right. In the world of sports, they had a Fenway pitchers duel, and Roger will have the full report coming up next.
That's Eyewitness News for tonight. I won't comment on that. I think Saturday Night Live is Saturday night.
That's right, on Saturday night. And throughout the week, it's The Tonight Show. Have a pleasant evening.
There we go, 1983 news.
WLWT, TV5, Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, I've still got this crap. Hold on.
today's news from the Tri-State's finest Action 5 News team. Michael Collins and Robin Phillips. Steve Shapiro has sports and weather with Steve Horstmeyer. Live from Cincinnati, this is Action 4.
Good evening, everyone.
One well-placed city official told me that if the city had gone to court, the city probably would have lost because other cities have done this, and they've lost too. So what? Zeph Hurst, Action 5 News. Suffering succotash.
Over the next 10 years, progress in the case of Bunsen versus the Board of Education.
Can you hold up something white for me, Jerry?
Something white.
Winter-like weather heading our way for at least Thursday.
Soggy Turkey Day.
Looks like it could be, yeah. But no traveling problems in the immediate vicinity.
Ditto on those days off.
Good for you.
We're already working on some of the stories for our late edition of Action 5 News tonight. We're going to show you some of the folks who literally spread the warmth of friendship, and we'll explain that glow in the sky over Marymount. In his nightly commentary, Jerry Springer will explain why Walter... This is yours, isn't it, Norma?
It certainly is.
Here you go. Read this.
Walter Mondale's fate may rest with John Glenn's party loyalty in sports. We'll show you how Connor fared in the Kentucky 3 championship, and Glenn Schwartz has the weekend forecast all tonight at 11 o'clock. Now it's your turn.
Sometimes we just get so excited with these scripts, you know. Anyway, that is our 6 o'clock edition of Action 5 News. NBC Nightly News is next. What the heck, it's Thanksgiving.
Oh, no, turkey breast. Yesterday was Thanksgiving.
Now, isn't that also a little silly in terms of what you can accomplish in 1 year?
It is. It's awkward. All of us agree that we would like to see a better way to choose the mayor. None of us, unfortunately, has yet come up with a formula which is acceptable to the others.
Everyone makes mistakes, including the president.
Masaya Su Okayum Okamura. Oh, damn it.
Does that make her the champion cow chip chucker or something?
As Buffalo Bill once said, let the chips fall where they may. That's right. You know, that famous quote there. You know who would look good on here, though? Norma Rashid. You right?
No, thanks.
No?
No.
Kipple hits Ulysses Norris. Norma couldn't get more wide open than this one. Look at that. Touchdown.
I guess, are the Reds upset about the herpes?
Concern is the only word you can really... did you say herpes? It's hepatitis. They might be... Holy cow, Norma, you brought up a whole new can of worms. Anyway...
Action 5 News sex. Well, that's sex.
This is an Action 5 News update.
Good afternoon, I'm Norma Rashid.
And I'm Richard Alls.
This has been an Action 5 News...
The hands are dying from the heat.
Pilots for the financially troubled Continental Airlines, let's shit.
Good evening, I'm Robin Phillips. Mr. Cuke is filling in for Michael Collins.
And in the meantime, join Norma Rashid, Richard Hall, and the entire Action 5 News time. 6 and 11 tomorrow. Goodbye.
Sports scene is next. Good night. Hello, everybody. This is where I live. Elaine Collins faces her next challenge, recoloring all the flowers on the Capitol lawn. In Frankfurt, I'm Tori Atali, Action 5 News. I can't get through it without laughing. And now Martha Lane Collins is ready to face her next challenge, filling in all of the holes where Phyllis George walked. In Frankfurt, I'm Tori Atali, Action 5 News.
Wow.
Wraps up the weekend edition of Action 5 News. We hope you'll be with us again next weekend.
In the meantime, here we go again. Join Richard Hall and Norma Rashid weeknights at 6 and 11, and we'll see you next weekend.
Good night.
Hello, I'm Todd Donahoe. 29 years ago, I was Cincinnati's first test tube baby. They had some bugs, though, in that operation. I still have this crane growing out of the side of my head. Carol Wilson will be telling my story tonight at 6 on Action 5 News.
It's an interesting case, and it brings up some other legal questions, like in the future, can a... shit! Shh. You use this for a blooper tape, and I'm gonna kick your ass. All right, okay. Keep going, keep going, keep going. We're testing here. Okay, let's stand still. Let's try standing still. Test, I can't do it when I call it walk. We'll get it this time. Will the police... In Green
Green Township. Michael Collins, Action 5 News Tonight.
Let's get the hell out of here. He did it!
Excuse me, Tree, how did it feel when the alleged drug dealer's car ran over you?
Some days, going to work means putting up with the elements, wearing a raincoat, using an umbrella, letting a guy walk in front of you.
That wraps up the Sunday edition of Action 5 News. We hope you will join us again next weekend.
And in the meantime, join Norma Rashid, Richard Hall, and the entire Action 5 News time. 6 and 11 tomorrow. Goodbye.
Sports Scene is next. Good night.
Jerry Springer has been keeping tabs on the trends and the turnout in New Hampshire all day, and he is live via satellite now. Jerry, we understand some surprising results have been happening in New Hampshire today. What do you have for us there? Well, Jerry, can you hear me?
I can't hear anything.
Okay, apparently we're having a little audio difficulty, Jerry. Let's try this one more time. No, I guess we just lost him. We'll try and get Jerry back a little later in the show. Sorry about that.
Go for it. Do it with him. Go on, Carol. Do it with the Irish
The incidence of deadly heartworm disease is increasing rapidly in this area, and if you really love your pet, take him or her to the vet for a heartworm test. Carol Wilson, Action 5 News.
That's what it's all about, bringing in conventions, bringing in money, bringing in jobs. Maybe 2,000 new jobs, literally hundreds of millions of dollars, excuse me, in money. I'm so overcome by it I can't even talk. This is Jeff Hirsch live with the Action Cam.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Kentucky State Police are on...
I'm Dan Hovel. Damn it.
This is an Action 5 News update. This is an Action 5 News update.
Good evening, I'm Norma Rashid.
I'm Richard Hall. Some local economic experts are painting a very bright picture for Cincinnati's airport tonight.
This has been an Action 5 News update.
I don't have any yet. I'm not getting it. Good morning. Those of us who had to worry about getting to work this morning woke up to an ice storm that made some roads hazardous and others impassable. Dan Hovel is standing by live with the Action Cam out in the elements. Dan, are you there? Dan, somewhere around. Have conditions improved at all, Dan? Are you there? Hello, Dan.
Are we on?
Yes. Dan, can you hear me?
Oh.
Dan
Testing,
Hovel.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Dan Hovel. Dan.
Hello?
Hello, Dan. Can you hear me? Apparently he can't hear me. Okay. Maybe we'll go back to Dan. We'll fix that problem. I don't think conditions have improved. They have improved a little bit. Steve Horsemeyer will be joining us in just a minute to give us an update.
Meteorologist Glenn Schwartz is outside right now with the live Action Cam with the latest. Glenn?
All right. Am I out here? Okay. Right behind me is the street, and it's just plain wet right now. But right on the sides of the street, we've got some slush.
We hope you'll be with us again next weekend.
In the meantime, here we go again. Join Richard Hall and Norma Rashid weeknights at 6 and 11, and we'll see you next weekend.
Good night.
I'm trying to keep mine up. I know it's hard.
Bullshit. Let's go.
You know where you can put it. Okay, here we go.
I'm back.
Only after a long day of flight maneuvers, the birds nestle down into their private condominium.
Condominium?
That's what it says.
That wraps up this edition of Action 5 News for tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Good night from all of us at Action 5 News. See you tomorrow.
Dave Hinkle, Action 5 News.
But fundamental changes in healthcare in this country play a big role as well, according to Bunny reporter Don Dunwell.
Well, the simplest explanation is that many hospitals are getting fewer patients. It's part of a national trend.
Well, it does look slushy out there. Is there anything perhaps that the morning drivers can do to help prevent accidents?
I would suspect just the obvious. Hold out. Here comes a car. And that would be Rick.
Forrest Gregg is leaving as we get organized here, and he'll be on the scene. Reminds a lot of people a little bit of Watson Brown, a great sense of humor and an offensive genius. We'll have that story coming up.
Good evening. Kentucky Governor Martha Lane Collins tonight took her plea to raise taxes to a city that already has enough budget problems of its very own.
Cincinnati Mayor Arne Bortz says tonight that he is not surprised by the opposition. The tax increase will be voted on in May. And
some of your tax dollars are being spent tonight.
Well, you've seen them advertised in newspaper inserts and on television sets. No, not television sets. You've seen them advertised in these newspaper inserts and on television. Hi. Hi. I'm totally expensive. I'll do it again.
This is an Action 5 News Update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Collins. The search goes on tonight for the 2 prisoners who overpowered their guards at a Blue Ash gas station and then made off with their weapons. Both are said to be armed and dangerous. If you work in Cincinnati, there is a chance your take-home pay could shrink slightly. City Council approved asking voters to okay an earnings tax hike this May. Shit.
This Action 5 News Update.
Just gonna say this.
Okay, kids, what's the best channel?
Who said? I am not God, nor am I a theologian.
3, 2 and a half. Ready? Three, 2, 1. Since the board. 3, 2, 1. Fuck. Now quick, here comes the sun. And I say, it's all right. You ready? Yeah. Three, 2, 1. Since before the turn of the century, men have been breaking laws. Those men have ended up here, year after year, generation after generation. But now, inside these very walls,
I don't know what the fuck I said, but I'll try it again. There's a time factor now. What are you doing?
There's a time factor involved now if the fuckers don't get the son of a bitch straight.
All right, ready? Yeah, There's a time factor now. Council believes to implement the tax, it must be passed by August 23rd. Fuck! Shit! Oh, excuse me, Robert.
that is this Tuesday edition of Action 5 News. Thank you for joining us.
And good night to all of us. And to all of you as well.
Yes, old anchors don't die, they just fade to black.
All right, this is how we keep warm when we're in the van and we keep
So welcome if you're out watching.
Okay, you plug in a light.
Just watching some news bloopers.
Excuse me, ma'am? Ma'am, what channel do you watch? Channel 5, I thought so. Ready?
Nice. That problem can be eliminated with careful attention to removal instructions. As to your chance of getting pregnant,
Yeah.
That's a Sunday edition of Action 5 News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
Our next newscasts are with Carol Wilson tomorrow morning at 7:25 and 8:25, and Ann Riskin on midday. Ann Reskin on midday. It's been one of those days. We leave you tonight with a look at the Magic Kingdom on ice and some of the people who made this newscast possible. Good
See you
night.
next week then.
What do the people who run some of these bars think about that? Your fingers get in the way. Up a little higher there. There you go. Down at the bottom, if you would.
WLWT TV5 Cincinnati. All tonight's news from the Action 5 News team.
And with a look at how things are going this year, Money reporter Don Dunwell is live at Shiloh Reich's downtown store. Don? Don? Go, Don. Don? Go, Don.
Stand by.
Go, Don. Well, apparently we're having some audio trouble. Don, can you hear me at all? Don? All right, Don, can you hear me now? Apparently not.
Okay.
All right.
Well, students, basically, and...
In Mason, Ohio, there's fear tonight that
Don?
this Christmas may be the last one some residents
Don?
have jobs for. Jeff Hirsch tells us why
Don,
and what's
can you
being
hear me
done to
at all?
prevent that.
This rusty pair of railroad tracks may not look like much to you, but
Don?
to industries in Mason, it's a lifeline.
Hold
But
on.
soon that lifeline may be cut.
Okay.
All right.
Well, students, basically, and...
That is our 6 o'clock report. Thank you for watching.
NBC Nightly News is next. Enjoy your evening. Don? Don?
Be there tonight at 8 for Boom.
Don?
Then stay tuned for Mary Tyler Moore, Donald...
Don, can you hear me at all?
And the award-winning Ordinary People. NBC Nightly News is next.
That's funny. Well, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go. Just gonna try to make it to 11, but you know. Y'all heard some music tonight, and promoting my CD. And it's part of this LA fundraiser for Bandcamp. So that begins at 2 a.m. my time, midnight Pacific time. Let's commence to supporting musicians. So I'm gonna